Someone looked at you today. Maybe they stared for 1 second too long. Maybe they looked at the person beside them. Maybe they smiled, whispered, or turned their head after you passed. And now your mind keeps replaying it. Not because you know what they were thinking, but because one look reached the part of you that already feels uncertain. Before you decide that the look proved something terrible about you, stay here. One stranger's expression does not deserve control over the rest of your day. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to slow the fear response, separate what actually happened from what your mind added afterward, and help you feel safe enough to return to your life. You will not be asked to pretend the moment did not hurt. You will not be told that every stare is harmless. You will simply stop carrying that stranger's face inside your head. When it's safe, place your phone down. Let your body know that the moment has passed. Notice where you are right now. Look at one object near you. Notice its shape. Notice its color. Notice whether light falls across it or leaves part of it in shadow. Now notice the surface beneath you. A chair, a bed, the floor. Your body is here. The person who stared is not here. The moment is no longer happening. Let your hands rest naturally. Release your fingers if they are tightly curled. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Unclench your jaw. Breathe in slowly. Pause. Breathe out a little longer than you breathed in. Again, breathe in. You are in the present. Breathe out. The moment has passed. One more time. Breathe in without checking how feminine you look. Breathe out without trying to correct your face, voice, posture, or body. Your body does not need to defend itself in this room. You are not being watched here. You are not being measured here. You are allowed to recover. A stare can last 2 seconds. The story created afterward can last for hours. Perhaps your mind said, "They noticed everything I am insecure about. They knew immediately. I looked wrong. I sounded wrong. I should not have gone outside. I should have worn something else. I should have made myself smaller." Notice how quickly the mind turns uncertainty into certainty. You did not hear their thoughts. You do not know the reason they looked. But fear filled in the missing information with the explanation most painful to you. That is what anxious thinking often does. It does not choose the most likely explanation. It chooses the explanation connected to your deepest fear. Someone may have looked because your hair caught their attention, because your clothes were striking, because you reminded them of someone, because they were distracted, because they were rude, because they were curious, because they look at everyone, because their attention was not actually about you. And yes, sometimes people do judge. That possibility hurts. But even when a person judges you, their judgment is still not a reliable measurement of your worth. A stranger can misunderstand you. A stranger can be ignorant. A stranger can be unkind. None of those things turns their opinion into truth. Let us separate the event from the interpretation. The event may have been, "A person looked at me." The interpretation became, "They thought I was unattractive. They knew I was transgender. They were laughing at me. They believed I did not belong. Everyone must see me that way. My entire day is ruined." These are not the same thing. One is an observable event. The others are conclusions. Some conclusions may be possible, but possibility is not certainty. And even when someone's behavior is disrespectful, you still get to decide what happens next inside your own mind. You do not have to keep replaying their face. You do not have to become your own second attacker. The moment already happened once. You do not need to recreate it 50 times. Take a slow breath. Say quietly, "I know what happened. I do not know everything they thought. Their reaction does not define me." Again,
Their reaction does not define me.
Imagine Aura leaving a cafe in the early evening. She felt good when she walked inside. She chose an outfit she liked. She ordered her drink clearly. She even smiled at herself when she saw her reflection in the window. Then, as she stepped outside, two people looked toward her. One leaned closer to the other. Aura's entire body changed. Her shoulders tightened, her eyes dropped, her hand moved toward her hair. She wondered whether she looked foolish, whether everyone had noticed something wrong, whether she should turn around and go home. The people continued walking. They disappeared into the crowd. But Aura carried them with her. She replayed the angle of their faces. She imagined their conversation. She began rewriting the entire evening around those few seconds. Then she stopped beside a shop window. She saw herself reflected in the glass. Nothing had changed about her between entering the cafe and leaving it. Only her interpretation had changed. A few minutes earlier, she felt present. Now she felt ashamed. The strangers had left. The shame remained because Aura was continuing their work for them. She placed one hand against the strap of her bag. She felt her feet on the pavement. She took one breath, then another. She did not force herself to smile. She did not pretend to be fearless. She simply said, "I will not disappear because someone looked at me." Aura lifted her eyes. The street was still there. The evening was still hers. When you feel watched, the body often becomes something you manage rather than something you inhabit. You begin monitoring every movement. Are my shoulders too broad? Are my hands moving correctly? Is my walk feminine enough? Is my face tense? Is my voice wrong? The body becomes a performance under inspection. For the next few minutes, let your body stop being a public project. Feel your back supported. Feel your feet. Notice the weight of your hands. Your body is not a problem to solve in this moment. It is the place carrying you through this moment. Thank your legs for bringing you home. Thank your lungs for continuing to breathe when you felt afraid. Thank your heart for slowing down now. You do not need to love every part of your appearance today. Begin with something more achievable. Stop punishing it. Stop interrogating it. Stop treating it as evidence against you. Your body is not on trial. Your femininity is not on trial. Your right to occupy public space is not on trial. Repeat the lines that feel supportive. Let the others pass without pressure. I release the stare I have been carrying. One person's expression does not define me. I do not know everything another person is thinking. I refuse to fill uncertainty with cruelty toward myself. My mind is allowed to choose a kinder interpretation. I am more than one uncomfortable moment. I remain worthy when someone misunderstands me. I remain myself when someone judges me. I do not need universal approval to exist. I do not need to look perfect to leave the house. I do not need to perform femininity without error. My face is allowed to relax. My shoulders are allowed to soften. My hands are allowed to move naturally. My voice is allowed to belong to me. I release the urge to monitor every gesture. I let myself become present again. I bring my attention back to my surroundings. I notice the ground beneath me. I notice my breath. I notice what is actually happening now. The moment has passed. I am safe enough to breathe. I can feel uncomfortable without abandoning myself. I can experience fear without obeying it. I can continue even when confidence feels incomplete. I do not need to hide after one difficult interaction. I do not need to punish myself for being visible. I am allowed to exist in ordinary public spaces. I am allowed to be seen without being perfectly understood. I deserve respect even when I feel uncertain. I deserve dignity without proving anything. I belong to myself. Notice whether the person's face feels slightly less powerful now. Perhaps the memory remains, but it is beginning to take up less space. This next section is for the moment you step outside again, not someday. The next real moment when your body remembers what happened and asks you to hide. I can leave home without predicting every reaction. I can walk at a comfortable pace. I do not need to rush past everyone. I lift my eyes when it feels safe. I remain aware without becoming hyper alert. I trust myself to notice genuine danger. I release imagined danger when the evidence is not there. I choose environments that support my safety. I am allowed to leave disrespectful situations. I am allowed to ask for help. I am allowed to protect my boundaries. Protecting myself is not the same as hiding myself. I can prepare without becoming consumed by fear. I breathe before entering a crowded place. I relax my shoulders before I step through the door. I remember that most people are focused on their own lives. I do not assume every laugh is about me. I do not assume every glance is criticism. I refuse to read minds. I return to observable facts. I am walking. I am breathing. I am here. I am allowed to enjoy the place I entered. I am allowed to finish my coffee. I am allowed to browse the store. I am allowed to take my time. I am allowed to speak. I am allowed to correct someone when I choose. I am allowed to remain silent when that feels safer. I choose my response. I do not hand control of my day to strangers. I carry myself with quiet self-respect. I protect my peace without disappearing. Imagine tomorrow, or next week, you are preparing to go outside. For a moment, your mind remembers the stare. You feel the familiar tension. This time, you do not argue with the feeling. You recognize it. You say, "My body remembers discomfort. That does not mean danger is happening now." You place both feet on the floor. You breathe out slowly. You choose an outfit based on comfort rather than fear. You step outside. A person looks toward you. Your mind begins to create a story, but you interrupt it. You notice the street, a passing car, the light on a window, the sound of your own steps. You do not search their face for confirmation. You continue moving. The moment passes. Your entire day does not collapse. That is progress. Not never feeling afraid, not controlling how every stranger behaves. Progress is returning to yourself more quickly. Progress is shortening the distance between discomfort and recovery. Imagine yourself reaching your destination. You kept going. No dramatic transformation occurred. You simply refused to disappear. I am not responsible for strangers' assumptions. I release what does not belong to me. Their discomfort is not my identity. Their ignorance is not my shame. I will not carry another person's reaction for them. I am learning to recover more quickly. I am becoming more emotionally steady. I trust my ability to care for myself after difficult moments. I can ask for support when I need it. I can pause without giving up. I can return home without calling myself a failure. I can try again tomorrow. I can step outside again. I can be visible and remain connected to myself. My femininity does not disappear under scrutiny. My self-respect remains with me. I am allowed to choose peace over replaying the moment. I am allowed to stop analyzing. I am allowed to release the scene. I am allowed to reclaim my evening. I am allowed to reclaim my day. I am allowed to reclaim my attention. I am still here. I still belong here. I do not have to hide.
Take one final slow breath. Move your hands gently. Notice the room around you. Choose one action that tells your nervous system the moment is over. Wash your face. Change into comfortable clothes. Drink water. Open a window. Message someone safe. Write down what actually happened, then separate it from what you imagined. Do not spend the rest of the day studying your appearance for an explanation. You do not need to find a flaw that justifies another person's behavior. The moment happened. It hurt. And now it can end. When you are ready, continue with the KarismAura session shown on screen. You are not behind. A feminine confidence reset. Let it help you release comparison and return fully to your own pace. Someone looked at you. You are still here. Your day still belongs to you. Let it help you release comparison and return fully to your own pace. Someone looked at you. You are still here. Your day still belongs to you.